Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be working on the same car as yesterday, but we're actually going to be doing valve cover gaskets as well. So once I got the car down, I was getting ready to do the front KW Haas. I noticed that the valve cover was actually puking. Called the customer and he decided to do the valve cover gaskets as well. So let's do this and I'll walk you guys through it. Alright, so one of the things that I've noticed a lot of people struggle with is removing the intake box to get the plenum off. A lot of people remove the cap out of the intake box to make it easier, but it's actually 10,000. Whoa, it's not even on. Oh look, see, it's installed incorrectly. See, this is what I always see. People always actually just wedge it in, put this thing back over it. That's incorrect. This actually got to go over it. So what I actually do is I remove these two bolts right here, which are T20s. So let's do it with one hand. And once you remove, it's a little hard because I'm doing it one-handed, but if you remove this bolt or screw, and then you remove the second one right here, like that, place this down right here, grab this, so now you have these two out, place them here for now, and then you actually just want to grab this right here, move it out, and boom, it's out of the way. And then when you reinstall, same thing. And then intake box, it's pretty simple. I'm gonna place you guys down. So for the intake box, there's two 10mm bolts, which are here and here. Take these two out. You can undo the breather hose that's right here. And then you could either undo this side or this side, whichever you choose, but just grab the intake box, lift up like that, move this out of the way, and you can raise it up and get it out just like that. Okay, you can move this aside, move this elbow here, which will give us more visual on the bolts on the bottom. Pop that off. Okay, so for the intake manifold, you can grab an extension. It doesn't have to be this long, ideally like 6 to 8 inches or so. You can go more, just like I am right now. And then easiest way is to have a wobble head on it. This allows it to have flexibility to be able to move around, and that way you can get inside of there at an angle. And then underneath here you'll see there are 8 of these. So if you just get it onto there with the wobble, like, you have room to move it around and be able to remove it. So let's remove all 8 of them. Okay, once you have all 8 unscrewed, there's an intake air temperature sensor here. You can undo that. And then there's one more hose back there that we're going to get to after we lift the manifold. And then there's one more hose down here. So squeeze, lift, and then pop this off like that. And then we get to the back side. Then now once you get to the back side, you can actually squeeze after it's raised, and it comes right off like that. So the holes on the bottom I was telling you guys about is right here, and it's the same connector as the back side. The way you remove this hose as well as the one in the back is you just squeeze these two tabs where it's rigid, and then that'll allow it to release on the clips. So you can see over here the valve cover is puking on the top side, that's when it's really bad. Alright, so basically what you do is you undo the spark plugs, the coils, the connectors, the two cam sensors that's up here, remove it out of the way, just move all the harnesses out of the way, unbolt all the 10s, lift it up, pry a little bit so that you can break loose these spark plug tubes because they're going to be a little tight. Then once you get it out, you can just lift up the fuel line out of the way over the PCB. I don't even remove the PCB, I leave it on there. That way you don't have to worry about coating on the valve cover coming off with that O-ring that's stuck on there. That way it doesn't leak. And then you just remove the timing covers now, which is 4 bolts, 410s right there. It comes right out. And that's pretty much it. The other side's a little harder. Alright, so once you get to this side, what you want to do is unbolt the expansion tank. There's two 10mm bolts. I left it above and just place it against this bracket right here just to get it out of the way. Make sure these lines aren't getting kinked in the same position it is right now. This is exactly where you want it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use one hand to hold this up, lift it, and then the other hand's going to pull it out. As you saw, I kind of just maneuvered it around. You're going to hit against the spark plug tubes, against the cam gears, the units for panels, and then just get it out, place the expansion tank back in, so that way the lines aren't being kinked, and that's pretty much it. Now we swap over all the gaskets and reinstall. Alright, so I installed the new valve cover gasket and then the 4 spark plug tubes. You want to install the spark plug tubes first on the valve cover, not on the head, because it's much harder to align to the valve cover. And then you're going to reinstall the timing cover. There's actually 2 different type of bolts. Okay, you guys got to make sure you guys are paying attention to this. There's a short bolt and a long bolt. There's 2 of each. Long bolts goes to the outer, which is the 2 upper, and then the shorter goes to the 2 bottom. That's very important, guys. Alright, the timing cover is now reinstalled. We're going to now place in the valve cover back in, and then I'll place you guys aside so you guys can see. I kind of place it on and I kind of shimmy and shift the valve cover left and right with mild force until all the spark plug tubes align with that. Do not force it down. If you just place it on, then you start tightening it to push it down, you'll end up tearing these boots right here, and it'll start leaking like crazy. So as you guys saw, I moved it around until it went down, and then what you want to do is make sure you apply a little bit of pressure and make sure that it's seated all the way down, which it is. You can see the valve covers all the way down, all the way around. Once you have it to this position where it's fully down without forcing it, then start tightening it all. But when you're tightening it, make sure you start them all first, because once you fully tighten one, it's going to cockeye it and then you'll end up stripping the head. Alright, so I did the exact same thing on the passenger side, reassembled everything. There's 2 bolts in the back that's a little harder to get to, but you just got to use the wobble head that I was telling you guys about. Then once you get that on, push it down, same thing, reassemble. This is technically, some parts of this side's a little easier, some parts are a little harder. This side's harder because you have all the extra hoses and fuel lines and breather hoses and stuff like that for evap. That kind of gets in the way. This side's a little harder because you got the expansion tank. You can remove the expansion tank completely. It'll make it much easier, but then you have coolant all over the place, which is kind of annoying. So I like to just kind of work around it. And then, yeah, now we just reassemble the intake manifold and it's pretty much done. I got to clean up the, old drum and oil from before, but oh, and I got to change the back spark plug because the customer replaced all the plugs except the back one, which is cylinder 4. And then once I get that on, I'll wire up all the coils, reassemble. And when you guys put the coils back in, okay, I know a lot of times you guys struggle to put this back in. Okay, a lot of people just push it like this and it's like, oh yeah, it's in. No, just go with the back of your palm like this and push hard until you hear a click. Like that. That's when it's in. Alrighty, so the car is fully buttoned back up together. I got the plenum back on, the intake box is back on. I'm a little dehydrated because it's so damn hot today. I think it's like 90 something, but in here, like, there's no airflow. Everything cleaned up this whole side. I can't turn on the car yet, which I'll turn on the car tomorrow, but that's after I finish up the rod bearings. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Tomorrow we have a lot more cars we got to work on. A lot of cars got shipped to us. But yeah, but that's it, guys. Take care. Peace.